most filmmakers lose their audience the moment the credits roll. They spend years building buzz for their film and then nothing. Why? Because they're building an audience for their film and not for themselves. But if you flip that, if you build a personal brand instead, you'll have fans who show up every time you make something new. In this video, I'll show you how to build that kind of audience, the kind that follows you from film to film and gives you real leverage in your career. So let's dive in. Now, a personal brand is an asset that grows with every project. I'm big on building assets, especially in our space, which is media, right? So film, it's a piece of media. It is an asset. It can generate income. A personal brand is very similar. It's an asset that you're building that can grow and feed your projects, feed your career as you continue along your journey as a filmmaker. So film-specific audiences, they fade after the release. But your audience, the one you build around your creative voice, it's going to stick with you. And the way I see it is like that's the real leverage, where you're not starting from scratch every single time. You're launching from a foundation that gets stronger with every single project. There are some great examples of filmmakers, indie filmmakers who are doing this now. Jim Cummings is the first one that comes to mind. Sean Baker is another one who's doing this, who has built a great following online. Safdie Brothers. If you go on X and you look at their profiles, they built up really great followings over a long period of time. Now, obviously, you've got to be doing the work. You've got to be putting out great projects. But then what happens is you're getting these fans who are following you, following your journey from film to film. And this is really only something that's become possible due to social media, right? So you might say, yeah, but these other filmmakers, Scorsese, Nolan, they're not on social media. Sure, that's fine. But they also came up at a time where this stuff didn't even exist. So who's to say how they would be using these platforms if they had been around when they started? Now, some common mistakes that filmmakers make is that they do build buzz for one film and then go dark. And this is what I was doing when I first started, especially like on the film I made called Plague. We self-distributed it, Facebook pages, Instagram profiles, website, mailing list. As soon as the film's done, we didn't keep promoting it. We didn't, we went dark. But then also, you go dark because you're not going to be able to use that audience again, right? So it's a very common mistake to make. The other one is just not picking a niche, and then as a filmmaker, your content doesn't connect. So that could mean you're really scattered with what you're putting out. Maybe you don't have a very clear vision of the types of films that you want to make or genre of films. That's a really big mistake. The third common one is just spreading yourself too thin across too many platforms. That's definitely one of the issues that I've run into, and something I have to stop myself doing constantly is just jumping on platforms and really just focusing on the ones that work. And then lastly, stop posting when it doesn't work right away. You can see even from my channel, it's taken hundreds of videos to get even just this amount of subscribers and views. So just sticking with it, being consistent is really what helps. So let's fix some of these things by giving you a step-by-step strategy. Number one is, yes, carve out that niche. So your niche is just what makes your voice recognizable. If you're a filmmaker, you might be yeah, but what's my niche? It might just be what types of films are you making? What types of short films have you been making so far? What stories are you interested in? That's pretty much where you should start. It's really where your passion, your experience, and then content can consistently intersect with each other. So it could be, indie film producing, could be directing and storytelling, could be behind the scenes stuff, could be fundraising strategies, could be horror as a genre, could be thriller films, sci-fi, whatever it might be. Find something that's unique to you that you can be okay, this is the type of content that I'm going to put out. Because a filmmaker who stands for one thing is going to grow much faster than one trying to talk about everything. Even with my own content, I'd say it started maybe potentially more broadly, but as I went, I just realized, okay, I'm speaking to debut feature filmmakers, predominantly feature filmmakers making their first film, and emerging feature filmmakers. So now my content is like highly geared towards that niche. Next thing is, so pick one platform. Don't try and be everywhere. Just go deep on one platform where your audience is like already hanging out. So LinkedIn's kind of popped off recently with filmmakers. I don't know why, but it is good. It's like great for collaborations, investors, industry peers, industry news, all that sort of thing. So if you're into that and like the text format, that's a good one. Instagram has been pretty consistent the whole time. TikTok is probably like underutilized for people, probably especially people like my age. I think they gear more towards Instagram, but it is really good for reaching like a general audience. YouTube, obviously great for this type of content, in-depth visual storytelling. And then Twitter or X, just high frequency, idea-led kind of posting. So what I'd recommend here is also just think about the format. Like, where are you already? Like, what platform are you already using? And what format do you like? Do you like photos and videos, or do you like text? And I think if you find the intersection of those and then just stick to that platform, that's the best way to do it. I started with email, really, with like email outreach, and some LinkedIn and Facebook. That gave me a bit of traction like early on, but then I added in YouTube pretty quickly and then found that I liked that platform. And then just that's really been like the core driver since then. Step 3 is just like clean up your profile, right? Because it is your storefront. If someone lands on your page, do they immediately know who you are and what you do? So have that like clear professional profile photo, have a good headline. Helping indie filmmakers make their first feature film would be like a very simple one for me. Have a bio with a call to action. Could be like joining a newsletter or subscribing to a channel or whatever it might be. Basically, you want to give people a reason to stay and follow you, so give them one from the very get-go. Step 4 is just get going, then worry about getting good, and then worry about getting great. So, you're going to suck at the start. That's normal. But you can't get to being great without just like pushing through that rough stage. So there's those 3 phases. Just get going, start posting, even if it feels kind of clunky and, I don't know, a bit inauthentic even, a bit raw. Like, just start, get good, see what resonates, sharpen your own voice, see what feels authentic to you. And then then to get great, double down on what works and then start showing up professionally. So it's just like making your first short, right? You got to get out there, do it, and then you learn by doing it, not kind of waiting for perfection, right? We all know those filmmakers who sit around talking about how they're going to make films and they never make films. Don't be that person when it comes to content. Just start. And it's that thing of like, when's the best time to start? Yesterday. When's the next best time to start? Today. It really is, because this thing compounds, so the earlier that you start, the better. Step 5 is eventually what you want to do is move people to email, right? Platforms change, algorithms shift, your email list is yours. The best example of this, Tyler Perry apparently built up an email list of like 100,000 people when he was going around doing theater shows. And that email list was so valuable when he started then releasing films and series because he was marketing directly to them. He actually got their emails like handwritten at the end of every show. He would just collect emails. So the reason this matters is because you own that channel. Like, no one's going to take those email addresses from you. You can build deeper relationships with people, and then you're not reliant on third-party platforms, right? So like my newsletter now reaches thousands of filmmakers directly, and it has become the most important distribution tool for me. So if I'm doing a launch, if I'm trying to reach people, like my email is my number one asset, really. So from here, stop trying to build hype for a single film and start building a long-term audience for you, the filmmaker, because you're the asset that's going to compound over time. As your journey progresses, people can follow that journey, it's just going to keep compounding and growing as you go. So that quick recap is niche down, number 1. Number 2, pick a platform, stick to it. Number 3, optimize your profile. Number 4, start showing up consistently. Then number 5, build your email list, own the asset. And that way you're not kind of at the whim of these platforms. So if you're serious about building a career that's sustainable and not just making a one-off film, then my view is that this is the move that you want to make ASAP. If you're working on your first feature and you want real-world guidance, I do send out a free newsletter every Friday with tools, strategies, and breakdowns. And the link to that is below. And that's how you do it. See you on the next one.